Hello and welcome back to another Shakuhachi lesson. I am your licensed Shakuhachi teacher, Shawn Renzoh Head, and today we're going to be going through the highly requested Koku. Now we're not going to do the whole thing because the piece itself is about 11 minutes long, so to teach it would actually take over an hour. So if you want to learn this entire piece, I highly recommend that you set up private lessons. This is also a very advanced piece. This is a piece that I teach to my Jun Shihan students. Or students who are working towards their Jun Shihan, who have already gotten their Okuden license. So let's just get into the beginning of this, and this is really a difficult work, and it takes a lot of air, it takes a lot of nuance and patience. So let's just get right into it. So the opening of this piece, it starts right here with this tsude. Now it marks the su as a kan note, but I actually like to give this first note muraiki, so it's actually a little bit in otsu and a little bit in kan. So we're getting this tsu and then jumping right up to the kan position and playing re, and then we're going to hold this note for a very long time. And something that I like to do with this note is I like to change the shapes on the inside of it. So I like to mimic this the sound of a gong or a bell, where the sound is getting louder and softer, and kind of decrease that, so you almost get like this pulsing wave sort of feel. So let's just start with that first breath. And really, I'm trying my best to get all the way to just a pure nothingness at the end there. And then we do that same thing again, and we're going to play that tsude, and then here we're going to have a repeat, and then what we're going to do is here is nayashi, 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 and we're going to be shading that with the second hold and dropping down and repeat. And I do the first ones a little bit slow, and then I speed it up, and then I repeat with the third finger on this re here, and then I give another deep nayashi. And for this nayashi, what I imagine is I'm pulling it down and shooting it back up. Pulling down, shooting back up. The next line is where a lot of difficulty comes in. This is probably one of the hardest things to do on shakuhachi, and that is starting a note in a higher position with a lot of delicacy. Really soft start on this T-midi here, and it should be almost so soft that you can't even hear the beginning of the note. So keeping all of that really soft as possible. So again, that fingering is going to be a chi, dropping down into the meri position, coming back up without a pop, and dropping the second hole, so that way that you're getting that new fingering. Then we're gonna have a little bit more energy here with this u d, and then we're gonna come down quickly on this T-midi and give it a little bit of a cut. So the best way to hear this is just it needs to sound very chant-like. It has to sound like traditional shomyo. And that was a little bit too deep, actually. There should be more of that. That's the right pitch for that. And that first note there, that ooh, I think I tend to pop it. I stopped myself from doing it that time, but or something like that. I usually add that little bit of that ornamentation. So one more time for this line, just so we can get a clear idea of it. Then this next breath here is going to be this huge burst of muraiki, and it's like the way that I imagine it is like pushing a rock up a hill, and it's just really, really heavy. You're really straining it, and then by the time you get to that ri, you've pushed it over the hill, and you get to watch it go all the way down the other side. So then you get this ri, and then holding and holding and holding, and then let it. You're kind of watching that rock just fall and keep going until you can't see it anymore. Then what happens is we get to do this really impossible task again of playing this T-midi as soft as we possibly can, with basically making it so that the note comes literally from nowhere. Then we repeat the second breath of the first line. Now here we're going to develop more of this idea. And so we're actually going to use a different fingering here. We're going to use the Chiru Tsumeri technique, which we're going to be using first finger, then we're going to shade this bottom part here, which gives us that same note. So the process for this is that you're half holing the first hole, you're fingering that chi, regular chi, and you'll get that T-midi. Drop into to a Dai-midi position. Now cover the second hole to get ru. This is an alternate fingering. Now dip down a little bit, cover the third hole for the tsu. Stay in this position, cover the fifth hole or the first hole all the way, and then we're going to get that san no u. And we're going to get actually a chi out of that instead. You'll get the chi sound. Okay, so let's play this whole breath here, how it should sound. Or a version of how it should sound. Then we're going to go into that haro no ro ri. And remember, this time in this piece, I really think that it should be popping the second hole for the rows, because later in the piece you're going to be popping the first hole, and it actually denotes that you should pop that first hole. Then this line here that we just played, this is actually going to be connected to line 5 here. So I'm going to go right into that. One more time from line 4, then we'll do Bei in the ulti position, Tsumeri, Ro, Ro, Nayashi, back to the ulti position, U, ri, 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 ri. So I give a little bit more than just one or two here. I actually give a few trills at this point. So this is also highly similar to a lot of chant music. So we'll start from here, going into the end of that E there. And then this next line, you need to go right into it. This E is a connecting note. So this is like a very small breath, haro do ro ri ri i, and then I keep the line going, u de de, and then we have tsu tsu Dai-midi ro nayashi, then sliding up into the neck to the row, and I don't pop this row here. So the reason what makes this piece so difficult is that the lines are really, really long when you connect them. So from all the way from here to here, this is one phrase. This is all just constantly being connected by all these E's. So I'm going to start from here again. Or actually, no, let me go through this this portion here just so we can hear that. We've seen this sort of line before, so let's just go from this top of line 6. And that's where we're going to pause for this, because it's not necessarily the first big section of music, but it's a lot to digest in for a piece like this. It's so nuanced, and there's a lot of things that you have to really work with on a teacher one-on-one. So if you really want to learn this piece, I highly recommend doing a private lesson, because there is so much nuance in it. So I'm going to play for you this first page up until here. This is, again, Koku. So that is the opening of Koku, just a little introduction of this piece. I hope it was helpful. Again, remember that you can take private lessons with me at ShawnHeadMusic.com. Just go to the home page and go to the bottom where the contact form, and just send me a message and we can get started. I teach lessons on Skype, Zoom, Facebook Messenger, and if you live in the Houston area, we can do lessons in person. I hope this was helpful.